up, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome to Trust Me, bro.
What's up, my brother? How you doing today?
Awesome, man. I see you
Good.
got your Jamar Chase jersey on.
Yes, sir.
He balled the
Representing
F
it.
out
Yeah, he
tonight,
did.
man. Unbelievable.
Yep.
What do you have, like 150-something yards and a touchdown at least?
Yeah. Man, he was
Man,
balling. It was looking good.
yeah. Yeah, amazing, man. Good win for
Yeah.
Cincy tonight, man. Good to
Yeah,
see
no
that.
kidding, man. No kidding.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like the problem with fantasy football though, Bengals fan had me kind of rooting against the Bengals. I wanted Evan Ingram to get a couple more points.
Yeah.
Didn't want Mixon to get points, so missed a win by about 2 points there.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I know you didn't
Yeah.
want McPherson to end up hitting that game-winning field goal.
At
I
that
noticed you
point,
were,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw you were playing against McPherson, and I thought you had that in the bag. Then I noticed that the other guy had McPherson. I was like,
I know, man.
yeah,
That was the difference.
yep, that was the difference. So,
That was different, man. Well,
so, how,
didn't help with
so, how,
Tank Dell going down and getting 0 points either.
mm-hmm.
But went 3-1.
3-1. Okay, there you
Yeah,
go. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Hey, I'll take it, man. And I was first place in that league too, so
yeah,
may still retain it. You never know. I need to go look.
yeah. Nice, man. Congrats,
Yeah,
brother. Yeah,
thanks.
same here. 3-1.
Good, nice, man.
So yeah, productive weekend. We're rounding out, rounding into form here. Playoffs coming up, so it's every game's crucial from here on out. Absolutely.
Yep,
So
yep.
one
Especially
one
next
more
week, man.
weekend. That's all we
That's right.
got. Yep. So all right. Well, looking good. So let's get into the picks for post week 13 waiver wire. Who you got for quarterbacks, Craig?
Yeah, man. Tell you what, I got this one just in.
Uh-huh.
Jake Browning.
Yep.
He is 11% owned. Went 354, one tutty, ran for another 22 yards and a tutty.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, he looked good. He looked comfortable back there. He, ran the offense
Mm-hmm.
pretty well, threw the ball where it needed to be. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Jacksonville defense is, middle of the pack. They're not a slouch.
Right.
So,
No.
yeah, man, I was pretty impressed.
Yeah,
What do you think about
I
that one?
agree. Yeah, Jake Browning, I mean, he's pretty solid. It seems like he went to Washington, right? And Washington is, pretty solid. I mean, they're in the final, the top 4 of the college football playoffs this year. So they're a respectable, college right up there with, the Ohio States and Alabamas of the world. So,
Yep.
yeah, he's got a good pedigree.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
Very
man.
good.
What you got?
All right, I got Josh Dobbs for the Vikings, only 45% owned. He scored 20 fantasy points in 6 out of 12 games, so about half the time he's scoring 20. And so, one of the reports I read gave me a little bit of pause about Josh Dobbs. Basically, the coach said that whoever can get the ball to JJ is going to be our starter. And so I'm imagining that he'd be that guy, but I don't know. So, he's got a rookie, and I don't know, I forget who else on the bench, to beat out, but I think he should have that job. So,
Yeah.
especially with
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson coming back.
Interesting comment.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I like that one, man. I like that one. And I got to imagine, the games he didn't score 20 points, he was probably, he was pretty close, 17,
Yeah.
18 points, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
You got that rushing upside with him too, 40 points a game. I mean, 40 yards a game usually for rushing. So,
yep.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
Yeah, he is. Man, I'm going to bring another one back up. 3rd week in a row. Matt Stafford still sitting out there at 32%. 279, 3 tutties this week. He's got and that was against Cleveland, who again, their defense is no slouch. They've had one of the better defenses in the league. He's got Baltimore coming up, and their defense is pretty solid, but then Washington, New Orleans, and the Giants. So, I mean, I know Puka went out, but Cup's back now, so maybe they kind of get that connection going again. I think you'll see 20-point games out of Matt Stafford for the rest of the year. So,
Yeah.
if you got if you're rolling with Trevor Lawrence or something like that, he might be your dude.
Yeah, totally agree. I took a look at him today also. I mean, this past game, he scored 28 points in
Hmm.
the fantasy league I was looking at him in. So, yeah, there's nothing to sneeze about. I mean, right under 30, that's fantastic this late in the season, especially with, all the quarterback injuries. This has been the year of the quarterback injuries. I mean, Craig, the sport that you and I love is a violent, violent game. I mean, we just
That's
saw it
right.
tonight with,
Yep.
T-Law going down with that the injury that happened. It looks like he was kind of, bent back and landed on his ankle. Although I just happened to see, like, I think it was Pacheco. He basically, wiggled out of a very similar potential injury. Did you happen to notice that when Pacheco like
Yeah,
squirmed out of a very similar situation? I
I
think
did see
Pacheco
that.
is like plastic man. I think he's made of rubber. For somehow he
Yeah.
just snuck out of it. I don't know how.
Yeah, he like just got his foot out from under there, but I think it was more the offensive lineman stepping on Lawrence's
Hmm.
ankle than that getting bent back.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
that
that's what
too.
actually did it. Yeah,
Right.
but yeah, man, it's a violent sport. We have
Yep.
every week there's somebody pretty key getting injured.
Yeah.
Um, and
Especially
even
the
when it's not a
quarterbacks.
violent sport, look at Christian Watson. Like he was
Hmm.
trying to stop and
Yeah.
pulled his hamstring again. I bet he's gonna be out for the rest of the season.
Is he really?
I don't know. It looked
Yeah,
pretty
he could
bad,
be.
man. It looked pretty
Yeah, I
bad.
know. I mean, because that. I mean, with his perfect example of when keeping it real goes wrong. You know what I mean? Like he was trying to do right by the coach and try to, like, run the clock out,
Yep.
and not ball out. I mean, guess what? He ends up hurting his hamstring again. He should have just
Yep.
kept on charging. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know, man. That's just bad. That's a bad
Yeah.
situation. It really is.
Yep. It is, man. It's unfortunate, but
Yep.
all right, man. Well, hey, back to quarterbacks. What you got?
Yep. All right. Next up is Joe Falco for the Browns. Only
Oh, Falco.
5% owned. He
Yeah.
in week 13 he threw for 254 passing yards with 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
He looked solid out there. I mean, not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
for a guy off the couch, he did really good, I thought.
Yeah. I thought the exact same thing, man. He's got Jacksonville,
Hmm.
Chicago, Houston, and then the Jets coming up. So,
Yeah.
I think he can, sustain some success here. So we'll see, brother. I mean, I like him. That's who I had down for my third guy, also.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make sure to record that. All right. All right. Next up, I've got Jameis Winston for the Saints. 1% owned. So in week 13, he only threw 5 times, but it was for 41 yards and cars hurt. So we've
Yeah.
seen Jameis Winston plenty of times, and the guy loves to air it out. He's good for fantasy. And so it's Carr's second concussion within, I think, 30 days. So most likely he's going to miss at least one game. They
Yeah.
also said his
Probably
shoulder
two.
is bugging
Probably
him.
two.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
They
Carr
may
is
shut him down.
basically,
You know.
yeah, I know, right? They may shut him down. Carr, he's got a heart. I mean, the guy wants to compete. He wants to play. But,
Sure.
I think that maybe the medical staff might kind of save him from himself. Like you said, shut him down. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Who knows, man? We'll see.
Yep.
But yeah, I like that one. Let's see if Jameis can do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's worth a
Yeah,
shot.
we'll see. He's not afraid to air it out.
No, that's
Any
all
other?
I've got on QBs.
Yeah, same here. I'm
Yeah.
fresh out of QBs. So let's roll on over to running backs. Who you got first?
Now I got Chuba Hubbard. I've tried not to like this guy for I don't know how long.
Yeah,
But he's 2 back-to-back 20-point games. He
I
is
know, right?
59% owned, but with 25 rushes, 104 yards, and 2 tutties this week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then another 20 points, 20 plus points last week. So, and he looks good. He
Yeah,
looks good when he gets the ball. I mean, he seems to be moving pretty good, man. I don't know. Maybe I had him wrong.
yeah. No, totally agree. I mean, I think we were all a little bit burnt by not seeing. God, who was that guy? Who was their starting running back? When
Mike Sanders.
Sanders, yeah, everybody
Yeah,
kind of thought Sanders
yeah,
was going to win it. Sanders was going to do good, and then when he fell on his face, everybody thought, all right, well, I guess Carolina's just shot. So nobody really gave Hubbard a chance, but sure enough, he stole that job. He took
yeah.
that ball and ran with it, and he's doing really good lately.
Yep,
So yeah, got to give him his props, 100%.
that's right, man. Give a man his
Yep,
due.
yep, good pick. All right. So for my first running back, I wrote down Eazy-E with the Pats, 40% owned. Ramondre Stevenson is hurt. And so in week 13, he had 17 carries for 52 yards. He caught 4 out of 5 targets for 40 yards. So, 92-yard total from scrimmage, almost a 100-yard game there. And so, he's a solid running back. I mean, he was solid for the Cowboys, with him being the only man in town.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. So,
Yeah, I had him down too, man.
mhm.
Same stats as you, 34% owned in ESPN, but I mean, it's a
Yep.
show now, and he's still got some tread on the tires. He just not for the money he was due to be paid for the Cowboys. So,
Right.
yeah, man, he'll get those goal line carries.
Yeah.
He'll punch one in. Bet you he's good for a tutty next week.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Man, I
Who you
had
got?
speaking of filling in for an injured running back is Antonio Gibson. He's 44% owned. He went 10 for 35, caught another 4 passes for 37 yards.
Nice.
But he's next up in line. So with Robinson out, I think he had a hammy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably going to keep him out a couple games. I think
Right.
Antonio's he's always been a pretty decent back. He catches the ball out of the backfield. So a lot of those catches that Robinson had that he took off for, I think that's now Gibson's play.
Yeah, I totally agree. I took a look at Robinson myself, and I noticed that they got a bye coming up, so I wasn't 100% sure that the hammy was going to keep him out for multiple weeks. I mean, very possible though.
Yeah.
That if Robinson doesn't suit back up in week 15, then Gibson would be an excellent play. Absolutely. Plus he's already been getting a lot of the passing yardage in that backfield, so yeah, he could very well step up and have it alone in week 15 and beyond if the injury to him is to Robinson is a little bit more severe than we don't know at this point. So
yeah. Yep.
All right. So for running back, I actually wrote down Tajay Spears for the Titans, only 36% owned. And when I wrote this down, I thought that Henry had a concussion. Turns out it's like a faux concussion. I guess he didn't really have a concussion, but I think Adam Schefter reported that that King Henry had a concussion, and everybody thought he did, but as it turns out, he really didn't. So, who knows? I mean,
Gotcha.
we may not see Tajay Spears get the rock exclusively next week. It may end up being a false alarm here, but anyway, in week 13, he had 16 carries for 75 yards, caught 4 out of 6 grabs, 4 out of 6 targets for 13 yards, and so he does carry the rock. Yeah, he contributes substantially, I think. Even in limited usage. So he's a good guy to have out there.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, if Henry does miss any time, then that's a great pick. It's a great pick.
Yep.
Just
Got any other running backs?
Nope, I'm out of running backs.
Yep, same here. All right, let's move on to wide receivers, brother. Who you got?
Man, I've got Elijah Moore.
Nice.
34% owned. He caught 4 out of 12 targets. I didn't get to see a lot of this game. I don't know if they're all at his feet or over his head or what, but that's not a very good completion percentage. But 83 yards off of those. And Amari Cooper went out with a concussion, so we'll see if he misses a week. I think Elijah Moore's got a chance to step up here. And like we said, Flacco's throwing the ball pretty well, so they've played together with when they were with the Jets, so they've got a little bit of a connection there. With or without Cooper, I think he still might be a pretty decent play.
Yeah, I totally agree, brother. I actually had him written down as my first wide receiver as well, and I was going to key in on the exact same points you brought up. On the Yahoo side, he's exactly. On the Yahoo side, he's 43% owned, and it looks like on the ESPN he's 34. But I mean, Flacco likes throwing to him. That connection goes back to their time with the New York Jets, and so like you said, 12 targets. He definitely is looking for him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Yeah, good guy to target if you're looking for somebody to to fill in your wide receiver spot. He could do good things for the Browns from here on out with Joe Falco.
Yeah. Cool. Who you got?
All right. Next up, I've got Noah Brown for the Texans, 40% owned. And so Tank Dell's on IR, as both you and I regrettably found out this past weekend. It was a heartbreaker for both of us.
Yep.
Gave us, he was just having such a promising season. Just a fantastic rookie. I mean, I think he was on track to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, great wide receiver.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
But for somebody 155 pounds, should not have been there in there blocking. You and I talked about this, so
nope.
Just sucks to see that happen, man. Great receiving or great year.
Yep.
But anyways, I agree, man. Noah Brown's the next guy up, and he's already had a pretty good season so far. So I think he just kind of picks up, and I'm not saying he's gonna make all the catches and all the plays that Tank Dell did, but he can make plays of his own. I think it's a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so caution flag. I mean, he did actually play in the game where Tank Dell went out in the first quarter. He put up a goose egg. I mean, but that's real. It happened, But in week 9 and 10, he had 13 grabs on 14 targets for 325 yards and a tutty. So, the potential's there. It's in there, And so maybe he just didn't practice right, and that game wasn't schemed for him. But I'm imagining they're going to try to map him into the game plan moving forward. So
yeah, I would think so too. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah. So that's it, man. That's the only two wide receivers I got.
Cool. I have one more for you, man, and this is a little bit over our mark, but at 55% owned. But Jackson Smith and Njugba, whatever it is. 7 for out of 11 targets, 62 receiving yards. He's definitely got a place in that offense, man. Like they go to him with the ball. I think Lockett's he's kind of taken some of Lockett's share, really. DJ Metcalf just balled out last week, but I think he's still got a good play. I mean, he's right there hovering around the double digits almost every single week.
True.
And I think it's kind of picking up too. So, might be one to kind of target, see if they can't carry you through the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, he might be a good, fill in for, let's just say you were rolling with Kirk, right? And Kirk went out tonight, caught one pass and then went out. And, if Kirk's out for a week, maybe longer, he'd be a good replacement for Christian Kirk. He's going to get you that similar numbers. He's going to get you that double digit floor and then opportunity for more, So, he's a good fill in there. 100%.
Yep. Cool. Well, brother, I want to hear what you got for tight ends. I have none. I have no suggestions of tight ends.
Same, brother.
It is just a barren wasteland.
I didn't write down one name. Yeah, it's empty. Empty,
There's
man.
The
tank is empty, brother. The tank is empty for both of us.
I mean, I just can't, in good conscience, make a suggestion. Like there's that one dude who scored 15 points and on every single waiver wire out there. But I've never heard his name.
Yeah, me neither. Some guy named Grandson. I think he's somebody's grandson, but he ain't playing on my team.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I ain't recommending grandson.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get that from me. Nope.
No,
ain't
hell no. Yeah, man. All right. Well, cool. We are moving on then, because.
All right. So let's move on to a new segment called "I Want You Back."
All right.
All right.
I like it.
This segment's called "I Want You Back." All right. So these are players that we had on our squads at one time or another over these illustrious 13 weeks, and we were a little bit too quick to drop. Maybe they disappointed us for a week or two, or maybe we just thought it was a one-hit wonder and just pulled the trigger too early. These are guys that we were, anyway, we didn't stick with. So,
yep. We got it.
Yep. All right. I'm going to start us off. So, between weeks 1 and 2, I picked up a running back. His name was Zach Moss in my work league. And so I played him in week 2. he got me 20 points. And so I figured, all right, that's probably the best I'm going to see from him this season, right? So I went ahead and dropped him because I had a feeling that JT was coming back. So I went ahead and, just preemptively dropped him, right? Just thinking, the 20 is the best I'm going to get all season. That's it. Send him down the river.
Yeah.
And then I dropped him, right? And then in week 3, he put up 26 and 47 points in week 5. So had I just held on to him a little bit longer, it would have been a really good thing. Plus, he's the man right now with JT going down again late in the season. So I blew it.
Yep. Yeah, that sucks, man. Want him back. Bring him back.
Yep.
Man, I had Brock Purdy rolling on one of my squads in a 2-quarterback league, and he went through a couple games where he scored 12, 13 points.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look great. Didn't look that sharp. I dropped him. I moved on. I don't even know who I picked up for him, but I would like to have him back. He's been on a tear.
Definitely.
What do you have? 30-something points this last week, and I mean he's been a solid 20 every week for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So yep, he would be a nice one. He'd be a starter on my team.
Yeah, Brock Purdy. He's the next Tony Romo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that, Craig?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, he was actually drafted,
that guy.
but
Right. Yeah, he was. What do you call it, Mr. Irrelevant? But yeah, Tony Romo was undrafted, but I mean, in that same pedigree, to somebody everybody left for dead, that ends up balling out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I agree.
Fantastic.
Dude's sharp.
Yep. Yeah. He's awesome. All right. Next up in that same league between weeks 2 and 3, I picked up Nico Collins and played him in week 3. He got me 5 points. Benched him. Week 4, he went off for 51 points. And then same story in 10 yards. But I actually kept him in that league. That's my work league I'm talking about. But in, same story in 10 yards in a cloud of dust, the other league we play in. But I dropped him after week 3 in that league in 10 yards. I should have kept him. What can you do, man? Nico Collins. I mean, that guy, he'll just blow up,
Yeah.
I think that guy has officially become like a, take the good with the bad type of guy. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to have him in your lineup week in, week out, just like A-Chain, right?
Exactly.
When he's on the field, he plays for your team. He may get you 12, he may get you 40, but you're going to roll with those variances, right? Kind of like Kittle.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I 100% agree, man.
Yep.
Dude, I had actually I drafted him late in the draft, carried him for a couple weeks. Didn't do a whole lot. Gave up on Jordan Addison. Just dropped him.
Right.
Boy, I'd love to have him back, especially once JJ went out. He's been a pretty solid player this year.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree, brother. Yeah, I mean, Jordan Addison, he was really, I mean, the focal point, like you said, after JJ went out, it was an unknown. I totally agree. It was an unknown at one point. We know whether or not he was ever going to do anything with JJ being the ball hog, but he ended up having a pretty good season so far. So good rookie. Yep. All right. Next up, this one doesn't really hurt that bad, but Dalton Kincaid. So I picked him up on a Thursday, the 14th of September. And I dropped him on Saturday, the 16th. He was only in my team for a couple days, right? 2 days. Okay.
You paying him rent?
Yeah, exactly. I sat there and looked at him and said, at that time, what's his name was still around? I don't know. I forget. The Bills guy. He was
Dawson Knox. Yeah.
Yeah, Dawson Knox was still around. So I was like, I don't know.
I know.
I dropped him. But anyway, I went with Hayden Hurst of all people. I actually dropped him for Hayden Hurst, which is the worst thing about it. You know what I mean? Hayden Hurst.
That is the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Hey man, I had Kincaid on my list too, and I drafted him. I played him a couple times. I had Mark Andrews as well. I think I picked him up just to kind of fill in that gap, and Mark Andrews is coming back in the first of the season. And then, Dawson Knox kept on stealing his grabs. I figured it was just a 50-50 show at best. You see Laporta taking off, and you're like, Laporta's the one this year, not Kincaid.
Right.
Still is, but and then when Mark Andrews went out again, I sure would like to have Kincaid because I'm just combing that scrap pile of people we can't even come up with one single tight end name. to recommend.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
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 love to
exactly.
have
It's a
him back.
diamond in the rough. Yeah, we both had
Yeah,
a diamond in our hands and let it slip through and off into the
yeah.
river.
And I mean,
Oh,
it's not like he's
shit.
tearing it off, but he'll get you 10, 15 points. I'll take that in my tight
Mhm.
end spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So we both talked about Dalton Kincaid. You got anyone else?
Yeah, I have one. This isn't,
Hmm.
again, kind of as you started off Kincaid. I had Josh Dobbs on my team in a 2 quarterback league.
Yeah.
He was kind of up and down. I forget who I even dropped him for, but I
Hmm.
think I'd like to have him back.
Yeah.
He's been pretty solid. Putting up close to 20 every week. So, like, would you mention half
Right.
the time he's putting up 20. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Especially in a 2 QB league, because right
yep,
there it's slim pickings, and Dalton
yeah,
Kincaid. I'm sorry, and with Josh Dobbs, I mean,
just
he's right up there in like the R, I'm sorry, QB like 13, 14. I mean,
yeah,
maybe even 11. I don't know. He's right there. I
yeah.
think
And I think
a
this
few
week
weeks
I've rolled
back
with
I think a few weeks back we actually mapped him as like the I don't know QB 8 or something like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yep,
I forget.
yeah,
9, QB 9. Yeah. Anyway, like back in week 9, we ranked him as QB 9. So
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yep.
Yep.
Would be nice, but that's all I've
Yeah.
got, brother.
Okay, I'm going to rattle off a couple more. I've got, not a whole lot to talk about, but Keaton Mitchell, this is really fringe. It really is. But,
Yeah,
I picked him up on
I
October
did the same.
4th, and I dropped him on the 18th. So I kept him
Yeah,
on my squad for 2 weeks. And then in week 9, he went off for 25 points. I mean, okay, yeah. So I missed out on 1 weekend of 25 points. I mean, it is what it is. And then
you'd
Dalton
almost rather
Schultz.
miss out on that,
Yeah.
because then you feel like, well, maybe I should put him in my lineup, and
Hmm.
then you get burned the next week, and you're like, well, which
Yeah.
one's which? So yeah,
Right.
it's kind of better probably that you just dropped him.
Yeah. Fool's gold, right? Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, he's only had a few weeks of like, I don't know, 13 points plus then, but nothing reliable. It's not
yeah,
like, it's Derrick Henry or nothing.
right.
All right. Dalton Schultz. So I drafted him and I dropped him and I picked him back up and then dropped him again twice more, you know? So yeah, I was really indecisive with Dalton Schultz. And so from week 4 to week 11, he got double digit points 6 times. He got 33 points in week 9. So he's been, a solid tight end right there, But
Yeah,
I just didn't know how I felt about Dalton Schultz. I don't know. I loved him for the Cowboys. He went to the Texans. I don't know. At that point, we weren't really sold on the Texans being a good offense. I don't think,
yeah,
back in,
and they weren't.
no. Yeah.
Yeah,
But they are now.
yeah,
They're a great
yeah,
offense now. But back
yeah.
then, we didn't know.
That's
So,
right.
all right, here we go. In week 6, I picked up. I'm sorry. So number 6 is the Gus bus. So between weeks 1 and 2, I decided to put the bus on my bench, right?
Yep.
So I sat him on my
Bus in the
bench.
barn.
Yeah, exactly. I had the Gus bus sitting in my barn. So through week 5, I got off the bus stop on week 7. Okay, so he sat there from weeks 5, 6, and 7. Just sitting there, chilling, getting like 6 points a week. I was like, I'm getting off the bus.
Yeah.
And so in week 7, he got 21 points. Week 8, he got 29 points. Week 7, I got 17 in week 9 and 21 points in week 11. So he went on a really good run right there.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there for that run. I was there for the Gus bus taking me to, the hood,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the bus route kept going, right? I got off too early. The bus route kept going. It went, to the nice part of town.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Took you where you wanted to go.
Places you didn't even know where they were. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Never been there
I'm
before.
just like, this is a.
Yeah, we've never been here.
Leave me
What's
some
this?
shithole. Week in, week out. Yeah. Getting off
That's
this
right.
bus. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame
you don't
you.
blame me for getting off the Gus bus. Yeah. It happens.
I mean, yeah, it happens. Like, those are some of those waves in fantasy football that you catch. And you ride and you're lucky, and there's some that you miss them,
Yeah.
You catch a different wave.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn right. All right, next up, between week 6 and 7, I picked up Brian Robinson, from the guy we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
from the Commanders. Between weeks 6 and 7, I picked him up, and then I dropped him right before week 8. In week 10, he got 30 points and 20 points in week 11. So, that's another wave I missed right there,
Yep.
I missed a 30-point week and a 20-point week because I got impatient with the guy.
Yeah.
So, it happens, right?
Hey, man, I did the same. I picked him up. I dropped him. I think he's no, I don't even think I have him on my bench on any of them. I think I just completely walked away.
Yeah.
I missed that wave with you, brother. Yep.
All right. Missed that wave. All right. And so, one last little, tidbit. So I traded Gibbs and Addison, the guy you talked about earlier, Addison.
Yeah.
So I had Addison, I had Gibbs, and I traded those two guys for Burrow, who's now on IR.
Yeah.
On October 20th, I traded both those guys. In week 8, Addison goes off for 21 points, and he got 34 points week 7, the week right after I traded him. Gibbs went off for 27 points in week 7, 32 points in week 8, and 26 points in week 9, and 21 points in week 11. So both those guys just decided to blow up as soon as I traded them both away. Yeah, I know, right?
That stings. That stings.
Yeah. Burrow played, 3 1/4 games for me, and then went out on air. That's it.
Yep. Want to take back on that one.
Yep, exactly. I want to take back.
Damn.
Yeah.
That one stings. Cool.
Yeah. So
well, it happens, brother. I mean, we talk about guys we should have, left on our bench and should have played, and vice versa. So,
right.
That's the way this thing goes. Kind of average it out, and you get lucky sometimes, and sometimes you don't. So, but anyways, man, that's why we play it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a ride, man. Yeah, it's like a roller coaster. It's got its ups and downs, and at the end, you just hope to even out and, ride that wave till the finish line.
That's it. That's it, man.
Yep.
Keep churning that roster,
Exactly.
Sometimes you give away the wrong guy, and sometimes somebody else gives the wrong guy away, and you take them. So, got to keep riding it.
Exactly.
Keep churning the roster.
You know it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool.
Okay, brother.
That's all I've got today, brother.
Same here it goes. All right. Well, listen, good work this weekend. 3-1. Me too. 3-1.
Congrats,
so
you too.
Thank you, brother.
We're strong.
Finish strong. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, we're moving on to week 14. Just do or die. I think that you and I both got ourselves in situations where we're in playoffs, and we're in good shape.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, brother.
Cool. All right, brother.
Peace.
Good luck on the waiver wire.
Good luck on the waiver wire, and I'll see you next week.
All right, brother. See ya.
See you, brother. Bye-bye.